Hello everyone, this is Kenken puzzle number 2 from Conceptis puzzle. Now the first step is to see is there some cells with the one solely number, and this is the one cell with number 7 without the operation, and here should be number 7. Now, two cells make number 12. There is just one combination to make number 12 with the two numbers, and the combination is 5 plus 7. Here cannot be 7, here must be number 5. And here is the number 7. Now, here, number 8 is composed with two numbers, and there is two solutions to make this number 8. The first solution is 3 plus 5, and the second solution is 2 plus 6. Here, in this column number 7, there is already number 5, and there is combination of two numbers, number 2 and number 6. There are four numbers, and in these three cells have to be three remaining numbers. But here, in these two cells, there are some number 4, and there is just one combination to make this number, and the combination is 1 and number 3. And these two numbers, 1 and 3, are also the two of three missing numbers in column number 7. And the last number is number 4 to make this conclusion. And here in these two cells should be 1 and 3. The sum of these three numbers are 1 plus 3 plus 4 is number 8, and plus 1 has to be number 9. Now we can erase some numbers. Here cannot be number 1, and the remaining number is number 3, and the same logic is here. Here cannot be number 3, and here cannot be number 1 because the number 1 is already here, and here cannot be number 3. This is a number 1 which remains in at this position. Now let's have a try some strategy with the summation of particular row or column. Let's try to do this with column number 1, this column. Now there is three numbers, number 10, number 7 and number 16. Let's see what is the sum of these three numbers. 10 plus 10 plus 7 plus 16 is 10 plus 7 plus 16. The number is 33. We know that each column and each row must have a total summation of 28. Then 33 minus 28 must be number 5. and there is just a single column which must be number 5, because the summation of the whole column here is 28 plus number 5 will produce the total summation of 33. And here has to be the summation of 5, and there is a 2 combination to make number 5. The first combination is 1 plus 4, and second combination would be 2 plus 3. But in this moment we cannot know which of those 2 combinations are in these 2 cells. Okay, now we can try to do some summation of columns number 1 and 2. Now the total summation would be some number, and this number minus 2 sums of 2 columns will give the summation of these 4 cells in the column number 3. The cells here, here, and here. Okay, let's try. Here is the number 10, plus 7 plus 16 is already number 33, and now we can add the remaining 3 numbers of the remaining 2 numbers of the columns 1 and 2. 33 plus 20 and 25 will give 30 plus 20 is 50, plus 20 is 70, plus 8, the number is 78. Minus 28 multiplied by 2 is 56. Now the result is 22. The sum of these 4 columns is 22, but the total sum of the column number 3 is 28, which leads 28 minus 22 is 6. The summation of these 3 cells is 6, and the combination for produce this situation must be with different 3 numbers, and there is just one combination to make this. The combination are the numbers 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. And here has to be 1, 2, and 3, and here is 1, 2, and 3. The number 6 consists of 3 different numbers, but the consequence of this situation is that in these 3 cells also the combination is with 3 different numbers. Another solution would be, for example, here number 1, here number 1, and here number 4. But here in this cell there is no number 4, and here has to be 3 different numbers like in these 3 cells here. Now the consequence of this situation, that we have 3 different numbers, is that there is especially number 2 in one of these 3 positions. No matter what position of number 2 is here, here would be number 2 on this position or on this position. And there is no possibility to have number 2 here in these two cells, which leads to the conclusion that here to make number 5 would be combination of 1 and 4. This construction is related with Sudoku solving technique called X-wings, that there is 2 cells and here there are 2 cells and the one number should be here or here. Okay, what now? Let's have a try to make some summation of these 3 rows. The row number 5, row number 6 and row number 7. Why that? Because the consequence is that here we will know what is the summation of these 3 cells. This cell, and this cell. Okay, let's try it. What are the numbers? There are number 16, then number 25, number 18, number 20, number 4 and number 9. Okay, this is the number 10, 30, 40, 60, 73, 81 plus 11, 92. Now the total number of these 3 rows is 29 minus 28 one column multiplied by 3 pieces of columns gives 4, and this is the 84. And finally the solution is the sum of these 3 cells is this 92 minus 84 gives 8. The sum of these 3 cells must be 8. What are the combinations? To make number 8, there is with 3 numbers, there are 2 combinations. The combinations are 8, 1 plus 2 plus 5, and second combination is 1 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, let's have a see what would be in this cell, what number, according to the conclusion that for the number 8 there is a composition of these 5 numbers. Here cannot be one number and number 4, number 1 and number 4, and there are 3 remaining numbers to make number 8, number 2, number 3 and number 5. There is no possibility to have number 6. And here let's have a look what combinations of the 2 cells gives the third number in this empty cell to make number 8. For example, if there is a number 5 here, here cannot be 3. But if there is a number 5, here could be number 2 is 7 plus 1 is number 8. Second combination, if there is a number 5 here, number 1, 2, it's 6 plus 2 is number 8. Second combination, if there is a number 3 here, 3 cannot be here, 3 plus 2 another combination is number 5, and here it should be number 3, and there is no possibility for that combination. And the last combination with number 3 here, 3 plus 1 is number 4, and plus 3 is number plus 3 is number plus 4 is number 8. And the last combination, number 2 plus 3 cannot go because should be number here, a 3. 2 plus 2 cannot go, and 2 plus 1 is number 3. 3 plus 5 will give a combination to make a number 8. Okay, now there are two cells, and let's see what combination are possible. What combinations are possible here in two cells? According to the condition that here in these 4 cells must be summation of 18. For example, if there is a number 1 here, plus 3 is number 4, and 18 minus 4 is number 14. And the consequences is that here should be 2 sevens, which is impossible. And the conclusion is that here cannot be number 1. Is there a possibility to have number 2 here? Yes, there is. If there is a number 2 here, plus number 3 is number 5, and 18 minus 5 is number 13, which is a possible solution. But we said there is a combination for number 2, that 2 combinations are to make number 8. But what is the important thing in this conclusion for these 2 combinations? That in each part, in each combination, there is a number 1 here. No matter whether the other 2 numbers would be 2 and 5 and 3 and 4. And in this column there is no possibility to have number 1 here. Here is a proof that there is no also possibility to have number 1, and the conclusion is that here in this cell must be exactly the number 1, and here cannot be number 3 and number 2. Here is the number 1, and of course here cannot be a number 1 because they are already in this column number 3. Okay, another conclusion: if there is in this cell number 2, 2 plus 1 is number 3, and here cannot be number 15 to make a number 18 because there is no 2 numbers. It should be, for example, number 7 plus number 8, but there is no number 8 in this puzzle, and here cannot be number 2. If here is a number 4 plus 1 is a number 5, and there is a need for have a number 13 here, and this is the combination of numbers 6 and 7, 6 and 7, and here, okay, let's make it 6 and 7, 6 and 7, and here if there is a 5 plus 1 is 6, there is a need for have number 12. It is a combination of 5 and 7, which leads to the conclusion that here has to be 3 numbers, possibility for 3 numbers. Now, if there is a number 4 here, plus 1 is a number 5, and here should be number 3. Another solution: here if there is a number 5, plus 1 is number 6, plus 2 is number 8. And the conclusion is that here cannot be number 5. We can erase that. Okay. Now, if we see some situation here, we can make some conclusions related with some numbers, and that they are: here is a number 3 and number 2 and gives a number 5, and here in this cell has to be number 1, and here cannot be number 2 and number 3, which leads to the situation that here has to be number 4 and here has to be number 1. Now the situation is that there is already 6 of number 1 in the net. Here is the number 1 in this row, and this row number 2, and to the end, to the row number 7. There is only one left place for number 1 here in row number 3, and here has to be number 1, the last 7th number in the net. Okay, in this cell there is a possible 2 numbers, because here we have number 1, number 2 and number 3, and here in this row number 5 and number 7. The remaining 2 numbers are 4 and 6. If here is number 4 plus number 1 is number 5. The remaining 2 cells has to be with summation with number 15, which is impossible. Like we did here, it should be number 7 plus number 8, but we don't have number 8. And the conclusion is that there is no possibility to number 4 to be here. And here has to be number 6. Now 6 plus 1 is number 7, and to produce number 20 it has to be number 13. And okay, we have number 13. This is the summation of number 6 plus number 7. 7 cannot be here because 7 is already here in the row number 4, and this is the only possible place to make number 7. And here of course will be number 6 to make a summation. Now let's have a try to make the remaining 3 numbers in the columns number 2 and number 3. Here are the numbers 1, 2 and 3 and 6, and here has to be 4, 5 and 7. Here would be 4, 5 and 7. Here also 4, 5 and 7, and here 5 and 7, because there is already number 4 here. The column number 2, the remaining 3 numbers are 2, 3 and 4. Here is a number 3, here is a number 3 in these rows, and here should be number 3. Number 4 is already here in the row number 7, and here should be number 4. And finally in the column number 2 there is a number 2 in the last place of this column. Here is a number 4, and here cannot be number 4 here in this cell. There are 2 cells with 2 numbers, 5 and 7, 5 and 7 here, and here cannot be 5, 7, and there is a need to make a number 4 in this cell. Now, what shall we do? What shall be done next? Here in the column number 1, there are 4 missing numbers, which are 2, 3, 5, and 6. Here we have 3, and here must be 2, 5, and 6. But if we look these 3 cells contain 3 different numbers. The numbers are 5, 6, and 7, which leads to the conclusion that here has to be number 2. And consequently, number 2 cannot be here. Remaining 2 numbers in the column number 1 are 5 and 6. And remaining 3 numbers in one cell in the row number 7 are 5, 6, and 7. Okay, what now? Let's have a look the rows number 3 and number 4. What can be done here? In the row number 4, there is 3 remaining numbers, 2, 4, and 5. And here 2, 4, and 5. Let's see what will be done here. 2, 4, and 5, and here are 2, 4, and 5. Here in the row number 3 are 2, 3, and 4. Here is 2, 3, and 4, like here 2, 3, and 4, and here is a 2 and 4, because here is already number 3. Now, what are the combination in these situations are? Here we said that these 3 cells make number 8. Now here we have number 3, here is a number 1, and here has to be number 4 to produce number 8. Here is number 4, and the summation of 1 and 4 is number 5. There is a need to number 13, which leads to the conclusion that here is number 7 and number 6. And here has to be number 5. If here is a number 5, here cannot be number 5, and here must be number 7. If here is number 7, here remains the numbers 5 and 6. Now, if here is the number 4, here is the combination of number 2 and number 5. And here is also the combination of number 2 and number 5. Now, we can try to make some conclusions related with these 4 cells to make number 14. This is a combination if here is number 2 or number 5. This is the first conclusion, and the second conclusion is that here there is a need to be a number 3. Okay, let's try to make the first combination with number 5 here. If number 5 is here. The first combination is to have a combination of numbers 3 and 4. The summation of 3, 4 and 5 is 12, and here has to be number 2. But like this was the situation with these two cells, there was no possibility to have number 2, because number 2 will be either here or here and here on here, and there is no possibility to have combination 3, 4 and 5. A second combination is also number 5 here, and the combination of numbers 2 and 3, and that is 5 plus 2 plus 3 is 10, and here would be number 4, but there is no possibility to be number 4 here because it's already here, and the conclusion is that here cannot be number 5, it must be number 2, and consequently here cannot be number 2, it has to be number 5. Now there is a number 2 here, but what combination is it? 2 and 3 or 3 and 4? Let's try to make another conclusion. If there is a number 2 plus 3 plus 4, the summation is 9. 2 plus 3 is 5 plus 4 is 9, and here has to be number 5 to make number 14. The second combination, number 2 here plus 2 plus 3 is number 7, and to produce a number 14 it has to be number 7, but here in this row number 2, there is already number 7, and consequently there is no possibility to have a combination of number 2 and number 3. Here cannot be number 2. 3 must be here and 2 cannot be. Here there is no number of 2, and here has to be number 2. Now if there is a number 5 here, here cannot be number 5, and the number 6 is here, which leads to the conclusion that here has to be number 5, here has to be number 6, and here has to be number 7, and here has to be number 6. Here is a number 4, and here cannot be number 4. Here is a number 3 in this cell, and here cannot be number 3. Here has to be number 4. The last number in the column number 4 is number 2, and sum of 2 plus 6 is number 8, and here there is a need for number 12, and this is the combination of number 5 and number 7. Okay, here let's make a good position for the number 4 here, not so uncentered. Number 4 is here. Now there is a 2 positions and 2 numbers in the column number 6. These numbers are 4 and 6. Here is a number 4, and here has to be number 4, and here has to be number 6. Now if the number 6 is here, here cannot be number 6, and here cannot be number 2. If here is number 2, here is number 3. If here is number 3, here is number 2. 3 and 2. Number 3 and number 2. And almost finally, the missing number in the row number 2 is number 3, and the missing number in the row number 1 is number 7. And finally, this is the solution of the Kenken puzzle number 2. Thank you very much for listening. See you. Bye.